Oh my god, I'm dying. But we're here. But it is also, like, my app says it's 88 degrees Fahrenheit, but it also says it feels like 98 degrees. It feels like 1,000. So we're hydrating. The event doesn't start until 11, so we're here a little early. And luckily, there's some shade involved. So I'll be interested to see what it's like. This will be like my first event at Hermes. I was not like specially invited. I just saw like an email, maybe about a month after I bought something from the Madison boutique. And I said, yeah, sure, why not? I'm off on Mondays. Let's see what it's like. Little did I know that it was going to be like the hottest day of the year. Let's see.
Grooms are the traditional ambassadors for Hermes, whose first specialty was, does anybody know? Saddles, yes, equestrian equipment, indeed.
Basically, the point of the game was that there was going to be 6 different rooms, and in each room there were 5 hidden horses, and you had to look for all 5 different horses, mark them off on the website, kind of like a scavenger hunt. And it was a lot of fun. So we were just coming back from the Hermes Mystery at the Grooms event, and that was really, really cool. It's really cool that Hermes is able to do all of these kind of free events for the public, and you don't have to be, like a long-standing customer. First of all, it's a great way for people to experience the brand. They had so much of their products there from, obviously their equestrian line, because it was like a horse themed event, and then of course their bags and ready to wear also. And it was also just a fun way to have kids involved. And since we're keeping with the Hermes theme, we'll be unboxing 2 things that I got from Hermes on our recent trip to Brussels. One of these I got in the Brussels Hermes, and the other one I got at the Amsterdam Airport one. I don't know which one's what. They weren't, I would just kind of like threw them in my luggage. And I'll go through some storytelling time once I know which one is which after I open them. The Brussels one was interesting, and I think I might have shot myself in the foot with one of the questions I asked, and I may have screwed an opportunity to get a bag. So stick around. And let's open. Oh. All right, all right. I feel that this is going to be a graceful one, and nothing's going to fall out. Oh, nope. What color did I get? Oh, this is either a Pegas or a Rodeo. And, it's a Pegas! Look how beautiful that is. I don't know the colors. So this is the one that I got at the Brussels Hermes. And the funny story about this is, of course, I'm not like a long-standing client at the Brussels Hermes boutique. So I went in thinking I was just going to get this and a pair of sandals. I get there, there's a line out the door, understandably. I finally get to the front person, and the staff says, "Hi, Mr. Hi, Monsieur. What are you here to look for?" And I said, "Oh, I definitely want to look at bag charms, some sandals." And he goes, "Okay, great, bag charms, sandals. Anything else from ready to wear?" And I said, "I'll take a look around the store, but not particularly." And then he said, "Any bags today?" And I said, "Bags?" And he says, "Yes, would you like some bags?" And in my mind, I was like, "Oh, I already bought something from Delvo," which, by the way, stick around for the next video because that'll be unboxing this beautiful box right here. I had already bought something from Delvo, and I was like, I don't really, in my mind, I was like, I don't really have it in my budget to buy another bag. And also, I was like, I'm not expecting a bag because I'm not like a long-standing client here, and also this will be my first purchase here. You don't know who I am based on my transaction history in Belgium. So I was like, no, I'm not looking for a bag. And he said, huh, okay. And then clicked no on his little tablet. And in my mind, I was kind of like that meme of Zach Galifianakis and all the numbers going around. I was like, did I just shoot myself in the foot and like decline a bag when they were gonna offer me something? Like, either to just look at the bags around me, and I was like, in my head, I started sweating. Of course, you know, my perspiration problem, and I was like, oh gosh, do I take it back? Should I go over my budget? What if they don't have the bag that I want? The bag I want is like a Picotin 26, I believe. I don't think they make the TGM anymore, but the TGM would be my ideal size for the Pikachu. And I was like, oh my gosh, should I have? Or I was also looking for the Halzan. Halzan? I don't know if they make that either. And I was like, oh, should I have just said yes? Should I go back and tell them, like, oh, actually, I want a bag? I didn't have it. I wasn't brave enough to be like, oh, actually, let me change that. I want a bag. So I just went in the store. Immediately I asked, can I look at Rodeos and Pegas? And she was like, yes, we have two. She offered me this one and a yellow one, just pure yellow. And I said, this one, I love the contrast colors here. I wish it came with the colors, but you know, I'm collecting these from every country that I go to that has an Hermes boutique, and then I display it on my Christmas tree as Christmas ornaments every year. So let's see if I can look for the receipt, and if it says the colors on it. So this is the Brussels one. Let's see. Nope. Is it this one? Oh, okay. We got Accessoire de Saxe. I think that should be bag charm. Rodeo PM Pegas. So this is not the Rodeo. The Rodeo one doesn't have the wings. This is a Pegas or Pegasus. Agnew Milo. I'm guessing that's this one because the second word is VE. So I'm guessing that's like vert. Oh my gosh, wait, I don't know. It says vert moy, M-O-Y, and then ardoise, and then VE. Give me a second so I can look up what these words mean. This one, the main body, this beautiful, deep, dark shade of green, which green is my favorite color, and I mean, look at that. But the main green, the main body green is vert moyen, and then the black or different lighter shade of black is ardoise. And then the last color, which is the wings, is vert peppermint. And this is in the Agnew Milo, which is a Milo lambskin. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so beautiful. Since this one is from Brussels, that must mean this one is from the Amsterdam Airport. Let's open her up. Nope. This one has a fun story too. Nope. One. Can you guess the color? Oh. It's upside down. Is this what I got? Okay, yes, this is what I got. Okay, so Oh, isn't he beautiful also? So this is a Rodeo. There's no wings. It's the saddle, so it's a horse. And let's see if I can find the color. Okay, well, I'm not able to find this specific color combo online. But so if you know it, please tell me. But I think the main body is Framboise Rouge, which I think is like strawberry red. I don't know what shade of brown the mane and the tail are, and I don't know. I guess the saddle and the strap is just black, noir. So, story time about this. We had a connecting flight, which I did not know about, going from Brussels to New York City. And we had a connecting flight in Amsterdam. It was a 55-minute connecting flight. And running through the airport, I was like, "Oh no!" I'm counting down the minutes. I was like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna have my own Hermes shopping time," because we've been to Amsterdam before for my birthday like 2 years ago. That was before I started this whole collection of Rodeos and Pegas for my Christmas trees. And I said, you know, well, I mean, I've been in Amsterdam, so if we're gonna be there anyway, I know they have an Hermes store at the airport. So if they have a Pegas, I would like to add one from Amsterdam. And I was counting down the minutes. I was like, we got to sprint through. We were like lugging our luggages around, and I got to the Hermes store maybe like 5 minutes before boarding. And luckily, I got a trainee. So he was like, hello, sir. How are you? I said, good. I'm looking. I did some like pleasantries. I wasn't very rude. I wasn't rude at all. I was like, hi, I'm well. How are you? Nice day out, blah, blah, blah. And he said, what are you looking for? I said, I'm looking for a bag charm, either Rodeo or Pegas. And he said, oh, certainly. I can pull up the ones that are available. And he pulled out this one and one that's in pure black. And I mean, he pulled both covers out, and I just said, this one. He said, okay. And he was like, anything else? And I said, nope, I'll take it. And I was already pulling out my passport, my credit card to get everything going. And he was like, oh, you're gonna buy it? And I was like, yes, please. I was like, I'm good, just this. And he was like, oh, okay, sure. And then we were walking over to the cash register. He said, how was your visit to Amsterdam? I was like, ah. He was very, very nice, but he was trying to small talk and, of course, be polite. But I was like, I got 4.5 minutes to go. 4.5 minutes before I have to like start boarding. And he was like, oh, you're here from Brussels, actually. How was your trip to Brussels? I was actually born there. I had to politely say, I'm so sorry. My connection flight is actually boarding. But here is my credit card and my passport. And he was like, oh, yes, yes, sir. I'm so sorry. And I was like, please don't apologize. I'm sorry that I'm cutting the. I always feel guilty about stuff, and I was already apologizing at the beginning. I was like, I'm so sorry. I have to make this quick. It's nothing against you. It's just that my connecting flight is like leaving soon. And long story short, I got it. And yeah, this was the fastest shopping experience I have ever had. Not just at Hermes, not just at any luxury store, but everywhere in general. I went in, I asked for Rodeo. He opened two boxes. I said, this one. And he packed it up. I said, thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye. And then walked out with this. So, yeah. So I guess the lesson here is never skip out on airport Hermes because you don't have to do like the whole global tax refund thing because these are already pre-tax or taxless, I guess, because they're like duty free, whatever. So you don't have to worry about all of those forms. It just comes straight as is. Whereas this one, I had to like get to the airport early to submit all of those. Sorry about that storytelling, guys, but here we have my two new Rodeo and Pegas. I'm so excited for Christmas this year. It is the hottest day and the longest day of the year as I'm filming right now. So while I love summer and while I hate the cold, this is kind of bringing me into like a little bit of a holiday mood right now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and as always, safe travels. Bye!